Thank you very, very much. You are all very, very kind. It's indeed for me a great honor and a privilege to be here at East Palo Alto and to share with you this Sunday afternoon. Such a beautiful Sunday afternoon. And I want to recognize all the people who are here with us, the pastor who led us in prayer, His Worship the Mayor of Palo Alto, and the councillor, and all the representatives of the government that are here, Mr. Ruben Girijarva, the Director of California Department of Forestry and Fire Department. I think that is fire prevention or protection. That's a very, very significant presence, as he says, because that's exactly what we are trying here to do. I'm really very, very happy that not only do we have here the residents of Palo Alto, but also the government of Palo Alto. East Palo Alto. East Palo Alto. And the reason for that is because it's not so easy to protect the environment, even as an individual, even as committed citizens, if you do not work closely with your government. As you know, the Norwegian Nobel Committee decided to give the prize to the environment in the year 2004. Thank you very much. But the committee also had in mind that it wanted, for the very first time, to link, to challenge us, to encourage us to rethink peace, and to see that indeed it is not possible for us to separate peace from two other pillars that are very, very important. And that's the pillar of sustainable management of resources, responsible and accountable management of the resources that we have. And to appreciate that it is not possible to enjoy peace if we do not share those resources more equitably. That's a very, very important concept that we need to emphasize, that quite often that is the reason why we have conflict in our societies, because so many in our societies, either because of their size, because of their race, because of their economic position, they are not allowed to access those resources. Now we know that in order for us to be able to govern ourselves that way, we need to have a system of governance that ensures that we respect human rights, that we respect the rule of law, that we govern ourselves in a way that is inclusive and participatory. That we need to bring in all members of our society, no matter who they are. We need to make them feel that they matter, that they are part of the greater society, that they are just as important, whether they are few or many, rich or poor, they all matter. Now, this emphasis by the Norwegian Nobel Committee is an extremely important message, and that's the message that I'm trying to share with the rest of the world, trying to encourage us to rethink peace and to understand that not only do we have to work for peace after peace has been disturbed or peace has been lost, but we can deliberately and consciously work towards preempting conflict. Oh. The tree, for me, and I'm sure for you, the tree is a very important part of our environment. It is a very important part of the resources that we have on our planet. It's one of the very important renewable resources in our society. And the reason we picked a tree in our campaign is because it's a very visible symbol of what can happen to the environment, what can happen to our resources if we take good care of them. And also, it is not difficult to plant a tree. And indeed, I hope that you will all plant a tree. I want to share with you that recently I was in Japan at an expo, at the Expo 2000, and I learned there in Japan that each one of us needs at least 10 trees to get rid of all the carbon dioxide we exhale. So it's very important that every one of us can count our 10 trees that are taking care of our carbon dioxide. Do not rely on somebody else's trees to take care of your carbon dioxide. Plant your own. And so indeed, I want to challenge you to plant not one tree, not to plant just 8,000 trees. It is 8,000 trees or 1,000 trees. That's too few when you count. Just here, just here among ourselves, we may be close to, how many people do you think we are? About 300, 400?
Sounds good.
About 300. And that can take care of about 3,000 trees. So when you count all the people in East Palo Alto, you know we need to plant much more than 10 trees, 8,000 trees. So I want to challenge you to each plant at least 10 trees, including the little children. You don't have to plant them, all of them one day. You can plant at least once, say one every month. And since you people have winter, and during winter, I guess trees don't grow, you can say you'll plant 2 trees every month so that you don't have to worry about the times when winter is here and the ground is very poor for planting trees. So 2 trees per month, per person, is a good target. And if you do that, you will be joining millions of other people who are doing the same. Certainly the women in the Greenbelt movement don't plant, if they heard that you were planting 80 trees, 1,000 trees in 2 years, they would laugh. Because they plant at least 1 million trees in a year. So we want to challenge you. And I will keep writing back to the Canopy and trying to find out how far you have gone, and to the mayor, and to the Department of Forest and Fire Protection. I want to make sure that there is a real campaign here in East Palo Alto so that we can truly make this place a green part of Palo Alto. The other thing that I want to share with you is that one of the reasons that I really wanted to come and be with you is that I wanted to emphasize to you that the planting of trees or the improvement of the environment is not necessarily and should not be the responsibility of the mayor and his council, or the responsibility of the government for that matter. That ought to be part and parcel of the responsibility of citizens. If you wait for the government to do things for you, you can wait until, as we say back home, cows come home. So I want to urge you, just like we have done in our part of the world, we didn't wait for the government. We organized women, we produced trees, and we planted them and we nurtured them. The government came plodding along many years after us to say what a wonderful job we were doing. But we knew that whatever we were doing it for us and for our children and their children. So it is in our own interest as citizens to maintain a good environment. And as Mr. Ruben from the fire department and forest fire protection and forestry said, it is extremely important that we and the government work together, but let us not wait for the government. The government will always come. If you do a good job, the government will always come. Because the government will always want to come and say that they like what you are doing and they want to be identified with it. So let it be your call as citizens of East Palo Alto to beautify this part of the city. I came here because I knew that you, as the people I work with back in Kenya, are not always the major focus of the government, that you have to do a lot for yourselves. But I can assure you, you are not alone. There are millions of people in the world trying to improve their environment. So do what you can, and don't be discouraged because you are not alone. We are all together in this. And as you do what you are doing here, I am quite sure you will inspire other people in this city, in the larger San Francisco area, and you never know. Depending on who will write about this in the newspaper, you may even inspire people outside these United States of America. And people will say, I want to do what they were doing in Palo Alto. So, East Palo Alto. I must find out why you are so insistent on East. There is another Palo Alto. Okay. Well, I want to be associated with the East Palo Alto. So I'm very, very happy, therefore, to be here to join you in launching this campaign, to join you in the spirit that you are demonstrating in doing that, and to join you not only today, for many, many days to come, for many, many years to come. So that I want to hear that because we were here on this Sunday afternoon, East Palo Alto has changed and has become a truly green city. Thank you.